Hi everyone, it's Nishti here, specialist dietitian for children and parents, and in this video I am going to explain all about iron and our genes, because as I said in my social media post, I feel silly to talk to you about what are great sources of vegan iron-rich foods. I just think most people know by now. Most people know, and most people can find this sort of information online. However, it's all about our genes. Our genes affect how well we absorb various nutrients. So in this video, I'm going to show you my personalized nutrition test. This is a service I offer my clients through nutrigenomics. And it's brilliant because I can see, you're high risk of iron deficiency, you're high risk of magnesium deficiency. Oh, you need to make sure that you don't have as much saturated fat in your diet. Like, it's just brilliant to be able to give people not a one-size-fits-all approach, because that doesn't work. We've done that, try that, doesn't work. So iron deficiency and our genes, yes, it is really all about your genetic makeup. So let me show you my report and let me explain to you some previous client stories that I'll just never forget, and it all makes sense now looking back. It's only recently that I started personalized nutrition testing, and I must say it's a game changer. And I think in the next 10 years, I think most people would want to have their own genetic nutrition test. So here's the report. It's 72 pages. But it's very comprehensive, and I'm just going to give you a peek into my report. So as you can see here, table of content, it goes through so many things. I mean, vitamin D, E, folate, calcium, even lactose and caffeine and gluten and weight management, so all your macronutrients, your fats. And then it also does, if I go down here, or at the bottom of the page, it goes through vitamin E, magnesium. But here you can see I'm high risk of vitamin D deficiency and B12. But anyway, so it's very comprehensive. If you want to know more, please let me know. For this video, I just want to focus on iron. So here we are. Now, it can maybe be a bit overwhelming at first, because look at all these genes and you know, what does that all mean? That's something I would go through with you if you were to have a report like this. But let me just show you mine. So I'm elevated risk because I have the AA variant here, okay, of these particular genes. Now, the important thing is hepcidin. Hepcidin is the main iron regulator in the body. And because I have the AA variant, I need to meet the recommended daily intake of iron. But I also need to make sure that I actually consume vitamin C rich foods with the iron. So as you can see here, I'm at increased risk for low iron status. To minimize my risk, I need to make sure that I consume foods rich in iron with high bioavailability from heme iron, which is animal products. Now, I tried the vegetarian and vegan diet for some years, and it didn't work for me. I actually became iron deficient, and I was eating all the lovely, you know, plant sources of iron, but it still didn't work for me. And actually, it just makes sense now. It all makes sense when I look at my report. I'll never forget this one girl. She was originally from Nigeria, 11 months of age. Parents had decided to feed their child a vegan diet. And you know, that's lovely. I am not promoting any kind of diet. All I want to talk about is how genes can actually play a role in how we absorb nutrients. And I just remember, this was like 5 years ago when I saw her. And she was struggling with iron deficiency over and over again. Oh God, that's a huge bumblebee. Ooh, Let me show you. Oh my goodness, it's huge. Oh wow. That just distracted me, but that's okay. Anyway, let's come back from the bumblebee experience. Yeah, so she really struggled with iron deficiency despite being on all these lovely iron-rich plant foods. And I remember thinking, you know, I wonder if our ancestral diets and how we have grown up can play a role as well and affect our genes. Think about it, you know. It's lovely when I think parents want to choose the best for their children, but I always say we don't know what's best for our children. They know what's best. So we need to follow their lead. What do they love? We need to provide them with the foods they love or don't love. Just allow them to explore. Allow them to explore and see what your child loves. You know, this child actually turned out to love meat because parents then started to feed her meat. They just couldn't keep up with it. And she loved meat. And I'm just thinking, maybe that was because she knew all along that that was her kind of diet. And that's why children are at heart intuitive eaters. And if we actually listen to them, and if we don't try and project all our wants onto our children, they will show us exactly what kind of diet they're into. Anyway, so, you know, she was from Nigeria originally. Think about the Nigerian diet. They eat so much meat. Personally, I tried to become vegetarian, even vegan. It doesn't suit me. It just doesn't. On many levels, not just with the iron. But I'm not saying that just because you're from a country where you usually eat a lot of meat, that you should. No, I'm saying you should listen to your own body and what your body wants, because your body will tell you exactly what it wants. I love plants. I love plants, but I love meat, and I know I need it. And I'm done with following any diets. I'm just listening to my own body, and I encourage you to do the same. And then I saw a child with autism. I'll never forget this boy eating crackers and cheese all day long and not on any nutritional supplements. He would occasionally have cow's milk, but he would never have any of his nutritional supplements, no vitamins, no minerals. He was never iron deficient, never. And I was like, this doesn't add up. He's not having anything with iron in, whether it's from a meat or non-meat sources, but he was not iron deficient. And you know what? I remember back then thinking, surely it's our genes, because time after time I would see one case after the other where it just wasn't explanatory. Looking at their diet, it wasn't explanatory to why they were or were not iron deficient. And guess what? It's because it's not just about diet. We now know, and we knew all along, that it's about our genes.